Hi guys, and welcome back to Old Southern Kitchen and Garden. We were gonna make spaghetti and meat sauce, but Luna had a different idea. So this video is gonna be a little different because our kitchen is basically destroyed. She decided that she wanted to cook something while Dale was in the house and actually caught the kitchen on fire. So we're gonna be using a hot plate and cooking this meal from above because the kitchen is black and sooty. So let's get started. When making a spaghetti, what I like to do is get all my ingredients together. As you can see, we have ground meat, mushrooms, bell peppers, which are actually from the garden. The garlic I'm chopping up now is what was left over from our garlic planting. So there's 3 different kinds that we had left. So instead of letting it go to waste, I'm gonna chop that up and include it. In my opinion, you can never have too much garlic in a spaghetti or any kind of Italian cooking, or any cooking for that matter. That's why we grow so much garlic. The onion I have is store-bought because we did run out of the onions that we actually grew ourselves. So what you're gonna want to do is, with all of the vegetables, you want to chop them into small pieces. They don't have to be too small because this will be cooking for hours and it'll cook down. It won't get totally mushed where you will be able to see an onion or a bell pepper, but it won't be a huge hindrance if it is a bigger cut. I guess it's the chef in me that wants everything actually cut up and ready to go. It's called mise en place, and whenever you're in a kitchen, you want everything prepared so that you can just grab and go. So what I like to do is get everything chopped up and ready to go. Once I do have it chopped up, it's time to start cooking the ground meat. Now I'm just going to throw all the ground meat in. I did put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom, and we're just going to let it cook down, which will take quite a few minutes, until there is no pink left over in the ground meat. As you can see, I haven't added any seasonings to the meat while it's browning. And the reason for that is ground meat will render a lot of fat, which I want to remove before I add all the other ingredients to make the spaghetti. If I were to add the seasonings when I'm removing the fat, it would remove all the seasonings with it, which would just be a waste of seasonings. So instead, once the ground meat is totally browned, what I like to do to get it out, since it is such a big pot, is make a hole in the center of the pot. Just push all the meat to all the sides and use paper towels. The paper towels will soak up the fat and the juices from cooking the meat, but will not take the meat with it. So it does take a few paper towels, but you will get the fat out without having to possibly burn yourself with steam coming off while you're trying to drain the meat. Once the meat is drained, then we can start adding our seasonings. To start off, I'm going to add all of the onions, peppers, and garlic that I've chopped to go in it. As you can see, there is still a little fat. I do want that in there so that we can render down the vegetables a little before we actually add all of the ingredients. Once I get those in and get it all stirred around and ready to go, then I'd like to add the tomato paste. Now, the reason I'm adding this now instead of after I add all of the liquid, I do like the tomato paste to cook down a little bit. The heating of it and the slight roasting of it with the bottom of the pan does enhance the natural tomato flavor. Now, what I would recommend is, as you can see, I have the tube tomato paste. I find it has a much fresher taste. So instead of going for a can, pay a little more. It's not really that much. You can use less of it and get more of a robust flavor from the tomato paste. After the tomato paste has had some time to cook down, then we're going to add our seasonings. One of the first seasonings I like to add is something my mom always added to her spaghetti, and it's just a way to simplify what you do have to add. She would get packages of spaghetti seasoning. So for a pot this big, I'm going to add 2 of those, and basically what that is going to do, it does have a thickening agent in it, but it will add the Italian flavors that you want in a spaghetti. It's going to add the oreganos and the basils, and actually it does add some garlic powder, but as you know, with us, we can never get enough garlic, so I will be adding more. So I'll add those 2 and mix them up really well into the ground meat. And once it hits the pot, you can already almost immediately smell spaghetti. Then I'm going to add a Cajun seasoning because I do want a little spice in our spaghetti. It's not going to be overly spicy, it's just going to add some spice to the finished product. And then we're going to go with garlic powder, salt, and pepper, and that'll complete the seasonings that we're going to actually add to the spaghetti. Once all the seasonings are in the spaghetti, then we're going to add 2 cans of crushed tomatoes and 2 cans of petite diced tomatoes. And then you'll also want to add a cup or 2 of beef broth. Some people do add water at this stage. I like to add beef broth because it punches up the beef flavor of the spaghetti. And if you've seen me cook anything, I hardly ever add water. I will always add a stock because it's a great way to add extra flavor to any meal that you're cooking. This is Dale sneaking in to add sugar to the spaghetti. Dale does like a sweeter spaghetti, so he tends to add a little sugar to everything. Thank God this time he didn't add too much, so I think we'll be good. The spaghetti's been simmering for about an hour and a half now, and everything is melted together and it tastes delicious, even with Dale's sugar addition. Tonight we're going to serve it with just regular spaghetti. We've also served it on penne, any kind of pasta we can find, and it's really good on any pasta, this sauce is. And of course you have to have bread with any pasta sauce you serve, in my opinion, so you have something to sop up all the extra juices. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and if you did, please like the video and share it so your friends can see it also. And also consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you know when we post new videos, whether they be cooking or gardening videos. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.